There's a very nice young lady here in the audience tonight, and last year she said to me, is there any chance you'd tell the story about poor old Finnegan, who was fond of a drop and wouldn't have it at all until he went to a party. And I said, I will. And you know, I came down and I spoke to all my kind friends and everything else, and never told it. So if you'd bear with me for a minute, for her sake, no, I'll tell it. It is about my friend, and when he gets a couple of jars at a party, he doesn't know where to stop. So he came to me and he said, can I tell that story? And I knew the story, you see, and I said, no, in your present condition, I wouldn't even chance it. And he said, what? Why not? I said, I don't think you should, but he didn't listen to me, and he went on, and he stood up in front of the crowd, and he just said to me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a story about two little snakes who were out hissing in their own pit. And all of a sudden, the mother came out and she said, what are you doing out here, hissing in our pit, making all that noise? I don't want you out here hissing in our pit. Go elsewhere and hiss. But Mother, we don't have anywhere else to hiss. Well, yes, you do indeed. There's lots of places you can hiss. Why don't you go over to Mrs. Potts' pit and hiss in our pit for me? Snakes that slithered all the way over to Mrs. Potts' pit, and they were happily hissing in Mrs. Potts' pit, and Mrs. Potts came out and she said, what are you doing out here making all that noise? I don't want you out here hissing in my pit making that noise. You go elsewhere and hiss. Oh, but Mrs. Potts, we were told, Mother told us we could come over and hiss in your pit, Mrs. Potts. She did she? Well, I don't want you out here hissing, making all that noise. You go elsewhere, and as a matter of fact, you go slither all the way back and hiss in your own pit. So the two little snakes are slithered all the way back to their own pit, and they were happily hissing in their own pit. And the mother came out once more and she said, what are you doing out here? She said, hissing in our pit again. Did I not send you over to Mrs. Potts' pit to hiss in our pit for a while? So then we slithered over to Mrs. Potts' pit and we were hissing happily in Mrs. Potts' pit. Mrs. Potts came out and said she didn't want us hissing in her pit. And hiss in her own pit. She did she? I knew that one when she didn't have a pit to hiss in. I'm going to sing you a little ditty. Really not like that. You may know the air, but I have changed the words slightly, so... Now is the hour for us to say bye-bye. Soon we'll be leaving, but you must not cry. It's not goodbye, it's just a sweet adieu. Next year we'll have another show for you. Oh, Clary! Jim Ryan. Volunteer Fleming on the piano. Thank you, fellas. Jim, come on back out here. This is the last thank you that I said I was going to save until he was finished. I couldn't bring him out dressed as O'Flaherty. The director of the show, Jim Ryan.